Thank you very much. I was here 2017 the first time, and I was talking about cocoa kamai. But today, I'm here to talk about this guy, my friend, the coconut. Now, this simple thing, we eat it, we drink it, even eat from it, wear it, but it has a lot of potential to offer a lot of possibilities and improve the lives of people through processing, through industrialization. And that's really what I'm here to talk about. Now, historically, this coconut was carried from India and the South Pacific, but mostly originally around the spice route. And eventually it made its way to Africa, over to the Americas. Everywhere it went, it changed people's lives. Everywhere it went, it was incorporated into their diet. It was incorporated into their livelihoods. And that shows the resilience of this simple coconut. Now, what I want to talk about here is that one nut has 5 main ingredients, 5 inputs that can create businesses, can create industries, and can create opportunities for people from the bottom of the pyramid all the way up. Now, we start with the outer shell. This is the one that's not here right now. That shell really protects this coconut. Everything that gives this coconut its life, everything that's allowed it to exist over all of these years, has allowed it to traverse oceans, everything that benefits it also benefits us. And that's why the coconut is known as the tree of life. Now, this outer shell protects this coconut. It makes it waterproof. It allows it to float across oceans for thousands of miles until it finds land, until it can find its home, that it can lay its roots. Underneath this, we have the coir fiber and the the coir fiber and the cocoa peat. Now, this is this hair we see on top. This protects the coconut from rodents and mammals. It also makes it buoyant, so it can float. So you've got the skin to protect it. You've got the hair to also protect it, to make it buoyant. Underneath, we have the shell. And, you know, the shell is protecting what really matters, and that is what's inside the meat, which is your next layer. And then the meat also encompasses the water. Now, the interesting thing that happens to this coconut is that as it matures, first it just starts off as water. And that's one thing I'm here to not talk about today, is coconut water. We all drink it. There's a lot of companies that make it. But when you drink young coconut water, you fail to realize the potential of the rest of this coconut. The only thing you get from young coconut water is water. The rest of it is gone. It goes, in Cambodia, in the city, a lot of it goes to landfill. It can never be used for anything, unfortunately. But when it goes to a mature nut, what we have is five inputs that can make product. So after the shell, we have the meat, and after the meat, we have the water. Now, let's start off with the coconut, the coir fiber. Here's your coir fiber. It's been traditionally used for rope. It's been made into mats, made into brooms. But when you take it to the next level of processing, what you get is some innovative products, what we're seeing here. We see flip-flops that are being sold in Canada, right? Made from pressed coconut fiber. They're actually made here. It's a Canadian company. They're made here. This guy got this idea from spending time in Thailand. Those flip-flops sell for about $45, $50 a pair, made from this, with a piece of leather. So you can imagine the profit margin on that. Now, they sell very well. So now we see more things. We see these rubberized mattresses, so it's coir fiber mixed with rubber that has made mattresses. Now, mattresses have been historically unenvironmentally friendly. They're filled with chemicals, formaldehyde, to preserve them. And what we have is this is basically made with latex, cotton, and coir fiber, or this one is a breathable wool. So we have something that used to be unenvironmentally friendly, but made environmentally friendly, again, from this coconut. And then, you know, we have newer innovations, such as this cocoa form packaging being made in India, which is food packaging being made from this. So this very simple fiber is again, it's being made further and further and further into more and more products that can create new industries. These are not just, you know, a small business. These are actually companies that can employ thousands of people and improve the lives of those people in rural areas where there's always a shortage of jobs And also, it's where the coconut grows. It makes the most sense. So, it's something that I think really has an amazing benefit. We see it up there as a wine rack. And, the new things coming out with this are surfboards. They're starting to make surfboards inside the surfboard. Is their experiment. The German company, actually, we've just started supplying them with the coir fiber to do the experiment, to finalize their experiments, making boards. And also, now there's research being done to make it into the same fiber as bamboo, the bamboo shirts that you see. Now, in Cambodia, a bamboo shirt sells for $80, made from the fiber of this. Again, it's a business that has high value, can create something that this sells for $400 a ton as a commodity. So, virtually nothing. But it can be turned into products that have high profit margins, that can really employ, like I said, high profit margins and employ a lot of people, create GDP for countries. So, and this is just the top layer. Now, the next one is, this is a byproduct, generally, of the coir fiber. Some people call them one and the same, but you see this dust. The coir fiber is this hair. That is the cocoa peat. Now, this is a fantastic agricultural product. Not only to be used as a mulch. We actually, when we're growing coconut, we use the cocoa husk and the peat to cover the nut when it's growing, to actually give it the nutrient and shield it so it can grow into a coconut. So it even benefits itself when it's growing. But what we see here is it being used as a fertilizer. It can also be used as a substrate. But the interesting thing about this cocoa peat is it can be used as a soil conditioner. So it's really miraculous. You put it into sandy soil, and it can increase the absorption rate of your sandy soil to make it able to grow things that you could never grow in sand. You put it into clay soil, it aerates it, so that your clay soil can actually breathe and be able to grow plants that normally can't grow in clay. So as a soil conditioner, it has amazing, amazing value. So for farmers, it really has benefit. A farmer doesn't get to choose the land that they have usually these days. They're born onto it. So this can help them condition the soil to make it more easily to grow a variety of vegetables, a variety of crops to increase their livelihoods. And here we see this cocoa peat grow bags that they're using in greenhouses. And that's it. You buy that, you put it in, and you grow straight out of them. So next we come to the shell. Now, the shell traditionally has always been made, I've seen it all over the world. Bowls, earrings, necklaces, things like, things which we say, okay, they're functional, but they're not very high value. But charcoalizing that shell is really where it shines. The coconut charcoal replaces wood charcoal, but a coconut charcoal briquette can burn for 5 hours, give off 0 carbon emissions and 0 smoke. So in Cambodia, now Carlo, who is the charcoal expert, who was here before with me, was unable to come. So, his number one buyer in Cambodia are actually the street food vendors, which we still have, pushing the carts around. Because as they're pushing, 90% of his business comes from street food vendors pushing carts because they're not breathing the smoke in. And one briquette can burn for 5 hours, which means they're not having to stoke their fire. They can just keep going. It also works for, barbecues. It's fantastic if you're having friends over. But again, where this charcoal gains value is when you activate it. Activated charcoal. One tablespoon of activated charcoal is the equivalent of a football field of regular charcoal. It also has 30 times the value of regular charcoal. So the simple process of activating it, which isn't so simple, but once you activate it, 30 times the value. And then you have things which you have here, luggage deodorizers. You have, here you have, what do you call it, insole deodorizers for running shoes. And then you even have water filters. So, the charcoalized shell, again, can be turned into, these are just a few. There are hundreds of products being made with activated charcoal, including in my line, which is our skincare business, which of course, there is a lot. So, again, we go down one more layer and we see more and more value. Now we come into the coconut meat. Now, the coconut meat, again, traditionally we just ate it. recently, as I'm sure you guys have all had, the coconut chips. Again, a simple process, but a much healthier snack. They've become very popular with health-conscious parents. But most of the time, this meat is turned into milk. Of course, the milk is also part of the culinary diet, but what we do is extract the oil. And that's something I'm going to talk about later because that's actually our core business. It's where we founded Coco Kamai upon was cold-pressed virgin coconut oil, and it has a whole range of benefits in itself. But really, you know, I think that these are the things that are most valuable in this one. Now, sorry. Finally, we come to the water. 1/3 of this is still water. So you've got 1/3 approximately is the shell, 1/3 of the meat, 1/3 of the water. Now, the water of mature coconut, many people don't like. I actually prefer it because it's less sweet than young coconut water, but it still has a lot of value. A lot of companies, there are companies that are actually selling mature coconut water. I saw one, 11-month coconut water. As a marketing. But a lot of times what you do is you mix the mature coconut water with young coconut water to extend your young coconut water and help reduce the price because you're not getting any other value out of your young coconut. So when your young coconut price goes up, how do you remain competitive? You mix old coconut water in with it. And the other thing as well is, of course, fruit juice. Now, in Cambodia, we do cold-pressed juice mixed with coconut water. And what we found is that, so cold-pressed juice comes out very, very thick. Sometimes it feels sludgy in the mouth. It's not so good to drink. So most companies will cut it with water. But when you cut it with water, you're diluting the flavor. The coconut water, with its natural sugars and other nutrients, actually helps preserve the original flavor of the fruit juice. So it makes it a very good a substance to actually add to the juice. And we see here, these are fruit juices being made you know, with coconut water inside. Now we come back to the oil. I'm not going to get into the controversy of the oil as a food. I eat it, and of course I'm going to support it. We've had a lot of, we've seen personally a lot of benefits from people who consume oil, but oil has many uses above eating. And what we're finding more and more is that it's being used as a replacement for palm oil. So in confectionery products, cosmetic products, we're seeing it replace more and more palm oil. And they have very similar properties, but again, this is considered to be more sustainable. But also, we have a 100% natural skincare line. So coconut oil, actually one of my newest products, which I don't have right here, is a hand sanitizer that we make. Also has coconut oil in it. So, I mean, we have, really you get into a situation where you can have hundreds and thousands of products that use coconut oil inside. So, as an oil, it has many benefits over other oils. So it's easily absorbed into the skin, has a lot of health benefits, a lot of nutrient for the skin, which makes it better than some of the other oils. This coconut oil has a lot of benefits for people from eating it to wearing it. It's used as a hair oil. It's used to protect against sand flies, you know, down at the beach. Some people use it for sun tanning and so on. So finally, I just want to say that one coconut, with its many ingredients, it really offers an infinite amount of possibilities for people, for the planet, and also for making money, which is really, as entrepreneurs, what we do. What we do with the money is another thing. So anyway, this is a short presentation, but thank you very much.